What's up, everybody? I'm Greg Miller. There's no news you care about this week because there's only one story you should care about. Brian Altano got married, and we want to send our congratulations to the new Mr. and Mrs. Altano. Speaking of misses, I'd love to make Batgirl my missus. That was a weak Greg way, but you understand where I'm going with this. There's a new design for Batgirl, and Babs Tarr is here to tell me all about it. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Up at Noon. As I live and breathe, Babs Tarr.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming.
You're welcome.
I don't know if you know, I'm a big DC Comics fan.
I didn't know that.
Big DC Comics fan.
Okay.
I try to stress it on the internet quite a bit. When I open Batgirl 35, first off, I was behind the new art style from the beginning, liked what I was seeing, enjoyed where the story was going, open Batgirl. You drew Batgirl in her underwear.
Yeah.
In the first issue.
You're welcome.
I thank you 1,000%, but I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah, Cameron Stewart is, we're collaborating on the pages, and he kind of since this is my first comic ever,
Yeah.
and before this I was mostly making illustration work and working as a game artist, and I had never dreamed of doing sequential art, and we're collaborating on the pages, and Cameron is doing the layouts for me. And then I do inks and pencils on top of it. So he had her in her underwear. And
you're like, well, fine.
There it is.
All right, so let's dial it back a bit, I guess, then. You've never done sequential art. You've never done comics before. Does just one day your phone ring like, hey, we're redoing Batgirl?
Kind of, yeah.
Really?
Cameron emailed me and he hadn't even had the job yet, but he was emailing me and he was like, would you be interested in doing a comic for DC? Female superhero, I can't give you any details yet, but we just wanted to gauge your interest. And I was like, I was working as a game artist and I was pretty bored at my job, just not very challenging.
Sure. Hey, games suck. We all know that.
Well, it was we were doing educational games, and it was,
the
art had
totally
switched into very UI, box, pixel pushing instead of illustration based, which is where my background really lies. So I got this email and I was like, and I was like, yes, of course, but just a couple things. Never done a comic before, ever. And my art style doesn't look like anything that's on their website right now. Yeah. So I emailed him back and I was upfront about my newness to sequential art. Yeah. And he was like, oh, well, as long as you're interested, don't worry about that now. Let's pitch you anyway, because I think they're raring for something new, and you just might be it. So let's just go for it. And then slowly time went by, and Cameron got an email saying he got the job, which means now he had to pitch the artist. So I think I was on a list of 20 other people. Sure. And there are some safer choices on there, but they really liked my work.
So at what point did they tell you it's Batgirl?
I found out through another source, actually, because I was also on someone else's pitch for Batgirl, which was super crazy. Yeah. And I heard it was Batgirl from this other writer that was a friend of other comic writer that was a friend of my friend's. Sure. So I heard through the grapevine that it was Batgirl.
Did you freak out?
I freaked out a little bit, but I was super excited because badass lady, the Bat family, being a part of that history, what an honor. It's a household name. Almost everybody knows who she is.
Of course.
So that's pretty cool. So I kind of freaked out, and then Cameron was like, can you guess who it is? And I was like, is it Batgirl?
God damn it! I had one thing to tell you.
I found out what it was, and some time went by, and I got an email from an editor finally. Yeah. And she was like, have you ever done sequential art before? And I was like, I know that you're talking Cameron, and I've never done that, but I was like, no, but please let me do some test pages for you. Let's see how it goes. And Cameron wrote me a 2-page script, panel by panel, she gets up, she brushes her teeth, blah, blah, blah. And I did 2 pages, flying blind. And the getting up and getting out the door part, I was pretty good at, because it was just my illustration, kind of my illustration realm. And then it was there's a fight page on the other side, and that was not as good. Right. So Cameron kind of helped me tweak it a little bit and make it better and flow better on the page. And then we sent it to DC, and the very next day I got the job.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then, going back even further, how did you get on this path? You just drew forever? Or?
Yeah, I was always really good at it since I was just a little kid. Parents would think I was older than I was because my drawing skills are so much better than the kids in my class.
They tried to throw you out of art fairs. This kid, she's clearly 13. Get her out of here.
Yeah, I just was always really blessed with the skill, and I just honed in on it. I found out there's such thing as art college, and I was like, I'm gonna be okay. You know, like when
people make a living off of this. It's gonna work,
I was
Mom,
like,
Dad.
an art school.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
You know, and I went to school at MICA, this in Baltimore, the Maryland Institute College of Art, and majored in illustration. And then I moved out here, and I got a job as a game artist for about 3 years.
And you met the right people.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then here's my next question, and this isn't me being a chauvinist male or anything else.
Okay.
I've looked through a lot of your art. It's
Yes.
incredibly good. I love it. A lot of it very sexy.
Yes.
You do a lot of sexy stuff.
Yes.
When you did you think that might work against you at any point? Like were you alarmed?
yeah.
Like I'm drawing Batgirl.
Yeah,
and there's also some
definitely.
naked ladies. There's one girl and a guy having sex in the moonlight on my website. Like,
That was for school.
Okay, yeah, no, art is art.
But-
I know the difference between pornography and art when I see
I
it.
definitely, you know, I definitely was this point in school where everyone was like, Babs, all you draw is sexy ladies. Like, you can't just draw sexy ladies.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I learned all these other things. And then I graduated from school, and I was like, okay, you know, I want to be editorial. Like, we were very editorial based. Like, our structure of our major was, we had a lot of teachers that used to do stuff for magazines and newspapers, like editorial based illustration,
Right.
For articles and stuff. And I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. So it's kind of a rule of thumb that it takes about 2 years before you can make that a full-time thing.
Okay.
Like promoting yourself and getting jobs, and it doesn't really become steady for about 2 years.
Sure.
And that's why I was like, okay, I'll move out to San Francisco with a bunch of my other friends from school, and I'll get a coffee shop job, and I'll hustle on the side.
Yeah.
And then I saw these things for 2D artists, and I did that for about a year, and I was like, no hustle, screw that.
Oh, you can curse, don't worry.
Yeah. Oh.
Then Brian has to bleep it. We don't have to worry
Okay,
about it.
but I was like, screw that, a full-time job, benefits, and I didn't really draw my free time.
Yeah.
And then I got really bored and restless, and I was like, screw this, I'm gonna start drawing my own stuff, and I just became not scared about drawing what I want.
Sure, yeah.
Before I was like, I gotta cater my portfolio to what I think will make me money and sell and stuff, and it's just not good. Just not good to do that.
You gotta
you
be
should
yourself.
follow your heart. Yeah. And as soon as
And
I
your
started,
heart is sexy ladies.
It's my heart is sexy ladies in fashion and badassness and spikes and candy and pink and neon and colors. I don't know, just all the things that I love. I started just mashing it together in my illustrations and just going balls to the wall with it. And pretty soon, I did this Sailor Moon piece that kind of went viral, and I started getting freelance jobs related to the work that I was putting out, which was stuff I loved. So I started getting freelance job related to the stuff that I was putting in my portfolio, which is the dream.
They're
right?
playing to your strengths, yeah.
And then I started working for Hasbro and started doing female toy designs,
Cool.
like doll stuff. And
Did any of them come out? Can I go buy a female toy design in your?
I can't I'm under the Hasbro umbrella, so I can't name specific things, but there's some things.
All right. Well, your art style's very. I'll look for the sexy spikes, and I'll know which one is it.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean, but when you know that DC Comics is looking through your stuff, are you worried at all? Or they're looking at you for Batgirl too? That they're looking at all this?
I didn't really stress out about it because it felt so. Felt such a long shot, that whole process until Till Cameron emailed me and he's like, it's down to 2 people and you're one of them.
Yeah.
Before that I was like, that's probably not gonna happen, but I'm very flattered to be even considered. Right. And then I got this email about it down to 2 people, and I was like, oh, this is real. This is real, guys.
This is real life. Uh-oh.
And then I started to freak out.
Yeah.
So, but it's I asked him in the beginning, I was like, do I have to change my art style?
Yeah.
Because I'm very versatile. I can do all kinds of stuff, but I want to draw my own style, especially if I'm going to quit my job and you do this thing full time. That's a lot of work. Comics is a lot of work. And he was like, no, we want you. Your style fits the tone of the story, and that's what we want. And I was like, okay. So whether I was worried about what DC thought or not, it wasn't going to change how I was going to do my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even now you're putting on your Instagram all these sexy naked Batgirls. I'm like, jeez Louise, woman.
Totally. So I even messaged the boys. I was like, do you think this is too scandalous to read a post? And they're like, it's personal work, just post it.
That's awesome.
I was like,
Look
okay.
at DC Comics and their artists. Just do whatever, I don't care. And that's one of the things I want to call out here. Of course, we've talked a lot about the Batgirl here.
Yeah.
There's a few things on your site I want to talk about.
Yes.
First and foremost, there's Mario and Peach.
Yeah, that was.
We're a video game site, so obviously I'm always looking for video games. No, I don't know that one. That's one I can't hang in the house. I don't know. I mean.
That was for a show.
Okay, yeah.
Have you ever heard of Fangamer and Attract Mode?
I haven't.
They do these like really amazing art shows that are video game themed, and this is like my third one, and they usually do Fangamer X Attract Mode, and the year before that I did Daisy and Peach like cross-dressing like as Mario and Luigi. And that was like the theme was X, so like crossover of any sort.
Sure.
Or
what
whatever.
was the theme of this one?
This one was Fangamer loves Attract Mode. So it was like a love-based theme. So I was like, oh, I'll do like Mario and Peach being cute because you never get to see it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I want to see it. So
their relationship's weird.
Yeah.
Are they a thing?
I'd like to think so.
I'd like to think so as well.
And I wanted to see it. So
you made it happen. All right. The other one I liked a lot is the Khaleesi one you have up there.
Yeah.
Now this one again, sexy, but it's also it's a scene from the show. Like this is a real thing.
Yeah.
With the dragons. She's the mother of the dragons.
Mother of dragons.
So I mean, is it just you wake up in the morning, you're like, I got time to kill.
Yeah,
well, I'm thinking of this, yeah?
Yeah, like all the art on my website, like even when I get asked to do like a zine or a show, it's gotta be something I like care about or something I love, or else it's like fake. And I think people can tell when you don't love something and you have to like draw it.
Yeah.
Your illustrations are more honest and like stuff if you follow your heart, I guess to say.
Final one to follow your heart on. The pinup Harry Potter girls.
Yeah.
Another fantastic one. I'm a big fan.
That was also for a zine.
Dang, you're doing all these cool things for zines. That's where it is.
Yeah, I just thought, why not?
Yeah.
Also, like, they're all 18 and up on that, just disclaimer.
You like put a year in there, like what year of Hogwarts they're at.
I kind of got in trouble on DeviantArt because they were like, how old are they in this? And like I added like
they graduated. This is after everything.
This is like, maybe they're down on their luck. And no, I'm just
oh God.
Nah.
Yeah. All right. Final question.
Okay.
You've broken into the comics business. How has it been being a female comic artist? We're always talking about needing more female voices, not only in the games industry, in the comics industry as well. What have you seen on your side?
I've had a great time so far.
Yeah.
I think, I'm at the beginning of this like new wave, I think, where they're like trying to just be diverse in all kinds of ways. And like my writers are super collaborative. Like they're both like older guys, so I think they understand like they should pitch things to me and like I'll be like, oh, this is kind of weird, or like, what if this happened? Or like and they like they'll change it if they like the idea, which is like amazing. Because,
so the whole Batgirl right now is based on you.
Nah,
because she's living with people, she's using Instagram, she's signing up for dating sites.
I might be the spirit animal of it in so many words. If good writers will write to the strengths of their artists. And I think like the next villains are like girls on motorcycles with like spikes in their costume, and they're like super badass. And that's like my portfolio, I feel like, in a nutshell. So yeah, it's pretty cool to be like to help steer this great character's history.
Yeah. Plus your name Babs. Everybody calls Barbara Babs.
That's just good PR right there.
Oh, there you go. Babs, you're a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming in.
Having me.
Of course, Batgirl 35 out right now. Batgirl 36 out November 12th.
Yes.
You can go get it. Everybody go get them.
Check it out.
All right. Thank you. Thank you to Babs Tarr, the new Mrs. Altano, for marrying Brian, and you for watching this episode of Up at Noon. If you like it, make sure you share it with your friends, and then come by IGN.com, where I'll be commenting the first hour this video is live. Why don't you tell me your favorite Batgirl memory? Mine? It would always be in the old Adam West show, because they had the same intro every time. But if Batgirl was gonna be on, she'd ride by on her motorcycle at the last second, so you knew it was gonna be a Batgirl episode. That was a damn good show. Ladies and gentlemen, next week, the immortal Hulk Hogan comes back to Up at Noon. So you gotta be here right now. Well, not right now. Right now, next time, the week from now, Monday at noon. These go live every Monday at noon. Until then, I'm going back to bed.